Gary the Goat was bought by Jimbo Bazoobi for a case of beer in December 2011 in a town called Gin in Western Australia, and from then the pair toured the country. Jimbo Bazoobi, born James Desarnolds, was originally a child's party clown through the 1990s, and then moved to stand-up comedy, and has performed at over 435 venues in Australia alone since 2004, many of which Gary, whom he called his best mate, was there by his side. Jimbo and Gary often pushed the boundaries as to where the goat was taken and where it was permitted, and had been in trouble with councils and police, including a threat by a local council to have him impounded at Castle Hills Goat Track. In 2013, Gary was taken to court by New South Wales Police after eating vegetation in Sydney, though the $440 fine was dismissed by the judge. In August 2016, it was discovered that Gary the Goat had terminal arthritis in his legs. Gary was put on painkillers in hopes that he would respond to holistic treatment in order to forego the amputation of his right toe. Unfortunately, Gary's toe was amputated in November. On November 16, 2017, Jimbo announced that Gary the Goat had to be euthanized. After being diagnosed with bleeding from an acute heart tumour, the body of Gary the Goat was set to be taxidermied. On June 22, 2020, Jimbo announced that Gary's body had been taxidermied. In April 2017, Jimbo was set to perform in Foster, and after the licensing police got wind of this, they set out to shut the gig down. We reached out to Jimbo and were able to accommodate his show at our property. We feel honoured to share this experience with the duo. Here is some of that footage. Warning: the language is a bit rude. This presentation contains voices and references to our mate Macca, who passed away on the 31st of October 2020. Rest in peace, mate, and keep on bouncing up there. Fuck yeah, Gary, you know I like that.
And maybe Eehan can wear the I am the goat shirt. What do you think? Yeah, I fucked a goat.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah, that's right, greatest of all time, mate. Yeah. I wore it in Sydney when the Pope came out for World Youth Day years ago. There were a million Catholics in town, they were all cool. I just walk around with my I fuck the goat shirt, and on the back it said, at least I wasn't a kid. And yeah, a few couples here. How long have you guys been rooting for, Meta and Eehan?
6 months?
6 months. That's like the half a bathtub full of semen up here, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Which of the fellas here wakes up with a bit of tissue paper stuck to the end of their cock in the morning? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm waiting for the snort.
Yeah. You're licking it off your cock now, aren't you? Yeah.
You want to fucking start with cookies, man?
Yeah. Kleenex cock. Yeah. And who's married here? Anyone married? Fucking no, everyone. I nearly got married last year, and I'd still be married today if I had made a Freudian slip at the altar. Instead of saying I do, I accidentally said, yeah, you'll do. Chicks, don't they get emotional on their wedding day? She ran off down the aisle crying, turned around and had this whole congregation of people looking at me, and I thought, fuck, I better loosen them up with a few gags. So I said, marriage is a funny thing. You're single, you have sex with anything that moves. You get married, you have sex with something that doesn't. And yeah, the only one laughing was the bride's father. And a fucking long drive here. Who's ever had a wank while they're driving? We've got my mate over. He was doing 140. Yeah, good on you guys. You guys, every bloke here's had a flog while they drive, hey? Yeah. Yeah, fucking. Even you girls that put your.
Why the fuck? I've had a flog.
Yeah.
While riding a bike, naked. I had boots and a helmet on.
Yeah.
And I got
I've seen the fucking video.
Mid-stroke, nearly vinegar stroke, got hit in the fucking chest by a bat.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Midnight. It was midnight.
Really? You think, fuck, I just came a bat.
One of the most romantic times I've had with myself.
Okay, so you're riding a bike naked, beating off, and a bat hits you just as you come. Yeah. I think that should have been the Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell film clip. Hey.
It was like a freight train.
Yeah. And what fucking got you to that
How
state?
big's a bat?
Yeah.
Bad triple. It's like your sister hitting you.
Yeah. But how do you get a poofter to fuck a girl? You shit in a cunt.
That's probably the dirtiest joke I've fucking
Well, coming from a bloke who wanks on a bicycle, that's a compliment, I reckon. Jeez, you can, look at that guy, you're going to Twitter that to your mum, aren't you? Fucking get a load of this one, mate. Yeah. I heard this one the other day. A guy said an old prostitute was getting a lift home in a cab. She didn't have any money. She got to the end of the ride, lifted up her dress, went, how about a bit of that? And the cabbie had a look and went, fuck, have you got anything smaller? I had my birthday the other day. I've been travelling around for a while and I found my first grey hair. I remember thinking, fuck, that's the last time I go down on my grandmother. Cheers, mate, over there. Like that.
Cheers.
Yeah. Did you ever play that game with your grandmother when you were kids where you shoved 12 oysters up her and sucked 13 out? Look at her up there and going, fuck, I thought I was the only one. But it is true, you girls can purr better than us guys. We'll be purr, this is how we purr, we'll be the traffic lights and go, oh yeah, lock it in, Eddie, right? We get back to here, we're divorced, whereas you girls can just go like that, you got enough info for a bit of digit disco. Hey Beth, you just go to your friend, how was he? And you just go, smell me finger.
It's called the memory.
Yeah. What'd you say? It's called the what?
Nothing.
No, fuck
Memory bank.
Oh, the memory bank.
One
Yeah.
for the bank. One for the bank.
One for the wank bank, hey, yeah. Just fucking, all you need is 1 second and yeah. That's good. Mate, you'll be in the wank bank tonight for sure, hey? The bloke near the fire, fucking hell. Yeah, you might be in his wank bank as well, hey?
I think everyone will.
Yeah, he'll be playing bat out of hell, wanking to you. Yeah, I've got all around Australia. Who's been to Darwin? Anyone been up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Darwin, even in
It's
Darwin,
lovely.
even the lesos go poofter bashing. They think, fuck, lesos get bored and go, fuck it, let's go rape some bikies. It's probably why there's so many bikies up there. But favourite TV show up there is called Backyard Abortion. Just half an hour with Jamie Jury with a coat hanger. I once fucked the muffler of me truck. In fact, I reckon I'm the only white guy here with a black cock at the moment. Cheers, girls, for getting that joke.
You were a few weeks ago, weren't you?
Well, fuck, this is great. The cops haven't turned up, have they? Fuck, yeah.
We're all
But
blaming
Stroud
the
was
blues.
fucking weird. Did you see that one? I was like, I went to a party like out in the middle of nowhere like this.
Yeah, Stroud.
And I left the party about fucking 2 a.m. or whatever. And I was fairly into about 3 kilometres down the road and some cunt starts talking to me. What the fuck? I turned around, ducking Gary's there. I thought it was a fucking ghost or something. And ended up some cunt's on top of me car. Yeah. His name's Boxhead, and he's just casually hanging his legs over the edge, just going, "How you going, Jimbo?" You're on the fucking top of the car.
Only in Stroud.
Yeah. And he's going, "Yeah, let's go to Cooper Pedy tonight. We'll run away together." I'm going, "You got your wife and 2 kids back there." He goes, "Oh, who gives a fuck? They won't miss me." And, yeah, and then he goes, "Fuck, oh, another 2 fell off the back on the way here." Yeah, I was just going, "Fuck, where are they?" He goes, I did a U-in, tried to find them, and they were back at the party, and it was a wild night. Like, I did a gig in Pecola down in the Murray River, and they had flooding there as well a few years ago. Real bad flooding, and I like to ask, what happens in each town, and this guy, old guy at the bar, he got quite emotional. He goes, "Mate, it was that bad. The levee bank was about to bust, they were sandbagging, and the SES actually came to town, got all the guys together and said, look guys, if any of you guys have got a wife who's a squirter, don't root her tonight." That's how bad it was, eh? What you'll do for your fellow man. So, you girls are using the C word now, eh? Like, Katie, at school, in the staff room, you just go, "How you going, you cunt?" You do, hey?
It is, no, it's really
You girls are owning it, like...
I can't prevent your daughter from saying that. She's 16 going on 20.
Yeah. You girls are owning the cunt word now, aren't you?
You are.
And you're realising it's a friendly word 90% of the times, isn't it? It's not said out of Ange knows.
There was mostly the cop chicks that swore the most.
Fucking oath, yeah. They're, and cunt. Because you know how us guys go, "Oh, harden up, you soft cock." What do you girls say? "Oh, moisten up, you dry cunt."
How did you know that?
You're in
That's
there.
their favourite word
Yeah, moisten up your dry cunt. Get your finger in and get some clag out. Just fucking wipe it on the fucking just smegma. Yeah, smegma. That's right. So a lot of people go, fucking, what does Gary do at the show? As you can tell, he does fuck all. Hey, right? I don't know. People rock. I don't know what they expect. Like he's going to juggle or something. Or when's he going to play the piano? Or fucking, no, he's just going to sit there, get up later, and do a shit.
He's concert.
He doesn't give a fuck. But you had one cop in Victoria, middle of nowhere, pulls me over. Gary's in the front seat, the cop's there, me and a goat. Oh, you think he'd just have a bit of a fucking smile, right? Nothing. And he just goes, any reason why you're speeding? And I just said, look, mate, I'm really horny. I'm in a hurry to fuck this goat in the next track. Didn't laugh at all, right? I was like, fuck, tough crowd. So I just said, look, I'm a comedian. I showed him I fucked a goat shirt. And nothing, right? And then I just said, hey, at least it doesn't say I fucked a pig. I had bald tyres, hey. I saw us that night. But anyway, I've gone across the Nullarbor with Gary. I was saying I have to smuggle him across the border, just tie him up around a tree and then go back to the quarantine station and drive through and pick him up. But at Nullarbor Roadhouse, we've got this thing at night where I go, Gary, and he goes, bar. So I'm in the Nullarbor Roadhouse toilets, and he's outside going, bar. I'm going, Gary, I'm coming. While doing his shit, right? He goes, bar. I'm going, Gary, I'm coming. He's, bar. I go, Gary, I'm coming. I did the shit. I've come out, there's this old couple around the corner wanting to know what was going on. And they've come out, just as I've come out of the toilet block, they just seen me doing me zip up next to a goat while I'm wearing an I fucked a goat t-shirt.
Screaming, Gary, I'm coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Dean, you know how it is. You just got to keep moving on the road, don't you? Ange and the team down the back there. How long have you guys been rooting for?
2 years.
2 years, all right. Fucking the mad rooters.
No, since high school. Eh?
Oh, really? What, were you the maths teacher?
How far in between?
The only way you can pass, baby. Yeah. Oh, what a great story, you know. You used to finger each other behind the dunnies and years later you meet up, eh? And
How long ago was that? Oh, well, no, we were just like friends and as kids. We
Yeah.
never like hooked up.
yeah.
Same here.
Until like,
Exactly
like
the same.
about 3 years ago we started talking to each other on Facey and shit. And
Yeah.
I said, do you want to go out for dinner and shit? And it's been fucking ever since. So.
Been.
No.
Yeah, that's great, yeah.
Good
Ah.
on you. Congrats.
Yeah.
This is where it's just been like, Anne's just been through breast cancer and that sort of shit, so.
Oh, double clap. Fucking
she's
oath.
been trooper and charging on. That's why her hair's a bit short at the moment. So.
Mate, you're,
Yeah,
yeah.
look, I shaved my hair for the cancer awareness, alright?
Yeah.
My son broke between you.
And you would have shaved your pubes to help her get through it as well.
Oh, yeah, for a little while, but I used to. I haven't seen it for like, it's been like, in the last year, it's been like just on and off for 2 weeks here, like a weekend here and there, like 2
Yeah.
days there, 1 day there.
Yeah.
She's got to be down like near the Mater in Newcastle,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, well done, Angie. You're a lucky charm, mate. That's great.
Oh, I'm a lucky man, that's for sure.
Oh,
Good on you.
Top tip.
fucking oath,
Gary.
man.
I think
Yeah.
you're going to
Good
drop the
journey,
knee,
best-
aren't you? Propose.
Look at this.
Hey,
And you're
there'll be
just.
no sex for the rest of my life, mate. I'm not silly. My name's Billy Hunt, not silly.
Yeah. Fucking what romantic stories we got here. You guys just got together and fucking. Mate, you and I, we're just coming to our socks still, don't we? But that's all right. Yeah. We love our socks, don't we? Yeah. Except when it gets crusty and we can't get the cunt off. But hey, you can double up as a condom when you fucking meet a bit of roadkill. And I used to live with mad couples like you guys, just fucking continually rooting, like just all the time rooting. I eventually had to approach them and said, look guys, you've really got to cut it out. Do you know how hard it is to get to sleep each night standing up with one ear pressed against the door? And I said, was that you knocking last night? And I said, no, I was just having a wank. And my sister moved out after that. Did a gig out in Geary, out near Wellington, one pub town, and I said, where do you have your first fuck in this town? Like, where's Nabiac? Where do you have your first fuck in Nabiac?
Tongue curry, probably.
Tongue curry, yeah.
Foster.
Yeah, I was saying, where do you have your first root?
Don't look at me.
And this guy at the back, and they're saying under the bridge, and this guy at the back, I just said, yeah, how to fuck under the bridge? He's going, fuck, yeah, easy joke. I just went, oh yeah, what was his name, right? Everyone's laughing except him, right? And he's come through the crowd. He just fucking picked me up and he swung me through the dunny doors, pinned me up against the wall and said, mate, stop calling me a poofter, right? And I'm just sort of, fuck, I'm just trying to make people laugh. Yeah, fuck, sorry, no worries. He goes, all right. Come out, all these people looking at me when I come out, and I had to explain what happened. I said, look, he said stop calling me a poofter. Anyway, after I sucked him off, he seemed to calm down. Club Hotel?
Well, I haven't been there since I was a young bloke.
I got
Years
fucked
ago,
by the publican's missus. She raped me.
That's a tough town, isn't it? What, you're not going to stay for another beer? I'm going to get me missus to rape you.
You will have another.
Fucking trying to shove a marshmallow into a fucking piggy bank.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was like. Sure it wasn't his arsehole or?
Wait, so you're not joking you got raped by the publican's missus?
Yeah, she was about fucking...
What, the publican have you at gunpoint?
She was 100 kilos.
You will sex
Yeah,
mob.
he's going, I'm sick of rooting you, you do it, mate.
Dad,
Do it fucking now. Yeah.
on holiday for the
One
Yeah.
of the cheap rooms.
Yeah, that's a dubbo poker machine, isn't it? The only thing comes out though is herpes. Oh yeah, cheers over there. Do you girls like flowers? Fucking romantic. Ange like flowers. Like us guys, we don't give a shit about flowers, do we?
No.
Eh,
Die
Like
in a day.
they could disappear off the whole planet. We wouldn't even notice for a year, eh? But what do we do on a first date? It's like we rock up with flowers and go, I don't give a shit about these, but I know you do. Here you go. Hey, right. Never works out in the other way around, hey, fellas? You never rock up on the first date and the girl just hands over a case of beer. And the guy going, oh, that's so thoughtful.
She's included.
And the girl going, no, you're special. And then the guy going, hey, that doesn't mean you can fuck me. You're going to have to get some bourbon and swing your sister in for that shit. Yeah. That's how this bloke started rooting Beth's sister. Because Devon's too big for one girl. And, I've been out with some weird chicks on the road. Went out with a girl worked at Westinghouse, right? And it freaked me out because every time I opened her legs, the light went on. Went out with a chick who worked in a news agency. Found out in the morning I had a free scratchy. Anyway, I was rooting this bloke, right? And halfway during the shag, I said to him, you wouldn't happen to be gay by any chance. Turned around, he said, funny thing is I was starting to think the same thing about you. And then we beat each other up because we both hate poofers. Fucking weird night, and haven't spoken to me brother since. But any chicks here smokers? I love rooting smokers. Love it. You know why? Because when they cough, their cunt goes like that, eh? Yeah, you know. Yeah. Best root I ever had.
It's like a puffer fish.
Like a puffer fish, right. Fuck, and she was only 10. Anyway, yeah, got to 12, it was too wide, so I thought I'd wait another 40 years before I rooted up. But mate, Dean, the best root I ever had in my whole life was this chick with emphysema, right? And she was fucking just coughing her guts out all the way through the shag. And halfway doing the shag, she ended up dying, right? And, yeah, it was weird. She died, but I was the one who went to heaven. I've been banned. This is how I started. In 2004, I got banned from all the comedy venues, right? And so I was doing a gig in Parramatta where I was just getting the crowd up, you know? Because and we had a talent quest, and this girl goes, oh, I'll fucking suck me boss's cock while he sings a song. And I went, oh, fucking right, come on up, right? And they were both about 20, and they both worked at Burger King, and they both had their outfit on, and she just got down and sucked his cock while he sung a bit of Snoop Doggy Dog. And I got kicked out, and I was just basically said, you're getting out of control, Jimbo. And so I had the choice to either just go back to all the comedy rooms or just hit the country. So I just did a 3-month lap up to down to Adelaide, up to Darwin, and I came back and went, fuck, that's a life to me. Left Sydney, and fucking 14 years later, I'm at fucking Meta and Eahan's farm, hey. So, but yeah, that's how it all started. But I actually got kicked out of the Sydney Comedy Store that year, and that was before that. You remember the Sydney Olympic Games years ago, right? And everyone in Sydney was hanging their national flag off the balcony if you're Chinese or English. I was just telling the crowd how I had a Japanese flatmate. And she couldn't find a flag, so she got me to root on her rags, and then we hung the bed sheet off the balcony. Yeah. Yeah, bullseye, yeah. And yeah, fucking got kicked out. And I've been kicked out of Melbourne as well. Remember the bushfires fucking years ago, 2009? Real bad bush. I nearly got fucking, I was coming into Melbourne in my truck with fucking 500 litres of cooking oil on the back. Cops stopped me and they said, you go in there, you'll get fried. I said, fuck it, I'll be deep fried if I go in there. So I'm doing a comedy gig like in this Melbourne, there's still got black smoke all over the town. Everyone's talking about it. I've gone to this venue and the owner's just gone, do not fucking talk about, no jokes about the bushfires, right? And I'm looking at the crowd thinking, fuck, you know, if I can't make a joke out of this and make people laugh about this topic, it'd be unprofessional of me as a comedian, right, you know? I've got to give it a fucking crack, you know? You know, it's risky, but this is a have-a-go country, you know what I mean? So I thought, fuck it, I just told them how I was going to send up some clothes for all the bushfire victims, but I couldn't, didn't have any clothes, so I sent up a bag of dildos for all the wives who'd lost their husbands. Oh, tough crowd. A couple of girls in the front row not laughing, and I just said, fuck, how would you like to masturbate with a burnt stick? Have some empathy for these poor cunts. And I pushed on and said, the worst thing is you pull the stick out, you wouldn't know whether the white bit on the end was ash or clitty glitter.
Why the fuck you been kicked out of there?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually got death threats for that joke, like fucking years later. I go, my mum died in a bushfire, and it's like, I don't know, you just fucking, in comedy, it's you know, it's like your soldiers, you know, we go, how'd you go? I killed or I died, you know, but like, I did a gig in Manly once, and I just mentioned the word mother in a joke, and this girl stands up and goes, don't talk about mothers, my mum's dead, she's dead, and I'm just thinking, fuck. I'm at a comedy night, how do I fucking, and she's just going, my mum's dead, and like, I'm just fucking, the whole tone of the night's going down, I'm getting paid to make people laugh, and I'm going, fuck, how do I make a laugh out of this? So she yells out again, my mum's dead, and I just said, if to get a laugh, I'm going to have to go a bit left of centre. So she yells out, my mum's dead, I just looked at her and said, yeah, how about I go dig her up and fuck her? You know, what can I do, you know what I mean? Like, and people are laughing, and she's come through the crowd with a wine glass and just thrown it in my face, and the wine's gone everywhere. And I've gone, fucking thank you, what a great night, what a finale. See you later, right? And I've just gone up to her afterwards, said, that was great, thanks for that, gave her a hug, and I said, fuck, what's the story of your mum? She goes, oh, don't worry about me mum, she died 10 years ago. I'm just a bit upset tonight because I broke up with me boyfriend. Like, seriously, blokes, how the fuck are we meant to decipher that shit, hey? You just no idea. Yeah.
Did you get a ruler or what?
Well, she was a good chick. Look at this guy going, whatever, did you fuck her? No, but the week later, the next week, the agent who booked me for the gig rings me up and goes, there was a complaint from one person in the crowd who rang up the publican and said, oh, the comedian was making jokes about digging up someone's mum and fucking her. And the agent's gone, Jimbo, you've gone over the line again, right? And I'm saying, there is no line in comedy, is there, you know? And she's going, no, you've gone over the line again. We're having this philosophical debate about whether there's a line in comedy. And I just said, look, it wasn't like I said I'd stick a femur up my ass and come into a skull. I said, where's the line now? And she goes, anyway, the line went dead, and I went touring back in WA again. But I mean, that's what I did a gig in Western, you know, down there near Cessnock. Yeah, there's a girl, I was just talking to a girl at the back where you guys are, and this lady stands up and goes, careful, Jimbo, she's going out with my son. And I just looked at her and said, wait, let me get this right. Your son came out of your cunt, now he's coming into hers. And she's just stood up and gone, no, you're fucking wrong, I had a cesarean. And she wasn't a bad rude either. Sometimes you've got to pay your rent on the road, hey? She's over there. But I did a gig in Laverton, WA, at the back of Kalgoorlie, and there was a girl in the crowd, she was 30, and had a mum in the crowd, and she was 50, and they were both single. What's the obvious question, guys? 30, 50, mum, daughter, both single. What's the obvious question?
Did you have it?
Threesome.
Yeah. Fuck, oh, close. I was a bit classy than that. I said, have you ever fucked the same bloke? Right? And they're both sort of going, oh, no. And I went, come on, fuck, we're all amongst friends. And eventually the daughter went, oh, righto. I said, what's the story? And she goes, look, no big deal. He was about 40, a bit later, you know, mum fucked him. And I just looked at the mum, I said, I reckon the only reason you sucked his cock was to find out what your daughter tasted like. Yeah, no threesome that night, eh? Yeah. So, yeah.
It was worth a try, mate.
Yeah, fucking, yeah. So, that's how this whole thing started. And then I fucking got Gary and I started doing these videos and going a bit popular. Sick cunts like Dean started watching and these guys over here. And now the cops are after me trying to fucking shut me down, but they won't fucking get to Eehan and Meta's place, eh? Fucking going up that road, they're doing a U, aren't they? They go, fuck that. I think when the copper got me in Circular Quay he basically tried to bust me for something. He couldn't get anything, and he goes, I'll get you, and he just sent me a fine in the mail for unlawful destruction of vegetation. Because my goat had eaten grass. And I'm just
So naughty, Gary.
I'm saying, mate, I'm a comedian, never had any publicity in 20 years. So we went to court, I wheeled Gary to the Downing Street Centre, and he's outside, and I've gone inside, and apparently some reporter's seen it, and then every fucking TV station in the country is down outside filming a goat, and I'm inside court. But I'm arguing with it. The judge went, okay, you ate some grass, unlawful destruction of vegetation. I just went, you're fucking joking. And I just said, well, Your Honour, fucking how come I get the fine? Gary ate it. So we literally argued for an hour. The prosecution was trying to make the link where if I had a conversation with Gary before he went into the park and I put him up, not only for eating grass, legally I had to say, can you go over and eat that little bit of grass over there, right? And I'm there going, fucking Gary can eat whatever the fuck he wants, right? The judge finally ended up agreeing. And then I've walked out and the whole press throng's out there. I've just walked out, you know, like I was O.J. Simpson, just let off a murder charge. Yeah, and then they just said, have you got anything to say? And I just said, well, Gary the Goat's taught the rocks cops a valuable lesson today, and that's don't bite off more than you can chew. Yeah, and I think ever since then there's been a few coppers going, I think we're going to get this cunt. Right? And ever since I've just been peppered with fucking shit. Went round the news as the fucking wacky news story of the day. Got onto Reuters and everything. It was on like Nigerian fucking papers and everything. And the cops trumped it up till he destroyed a whole rose bed. It was all bullshit. And I'm on Nigerian foremans they're going, well, fuck, if you had our roses, I reckon that's a crime. I was fucking, Gary got slandered. He was a scapegoat, weren't you, Gary? But you don't give a fuck, eh? That's my dealing with the cops, eh? So, and now I'm still dealing with them. We should have been playing at fucking Lakeside Tavern, but I think they did me a favour. I got to come out to your farm, guys. Yeah. Got the fucking, got the fucking.
Still making an earn and fucking everyone's fucking happy.
I did a gig the other day and the guy yells out, do you know what a smudgy is? I said, fucking what's that? And he goes, oh, it's a frozen turd used as a dildo. I said, fuck, what if it melts? He goes, yeah, that's why they call it a smudgy. Yeah, look at Kate going, at least the Devon stays hard. With Gary, when I got caught for pissing in a cup, right, they got me for offensive behaviour, and to try and roll me into accepting the charge, they loaded me up with willful exposure. No one saw anything, right? So it was a low-level sex crime. I didn't know. There was a fucking police warrant out for me in Victoria. They've seen my number plate. I didn't even fucking know. And then this guy in this one pub town's going, oh, fuck, there's a sex offender down in the caravan park. So he had to go to the next town to get back up. They're going, there's a sex offender. I'm in the truck down there. So they've come and opened up the back of the truck, and I'm in the back cuddling Gary. Yeah. So they go, fuck, what type of a sex offender is this cunt? No, I didn't know. And then I had a video of the incident. I said, mate, here's the fucking thing. He goes, that doesn't make you a sex offender. I go, yeah, I know. So organised me to not be extradited, went up to Wagga, and then they locked me up. And I said, you can't lock me up for the weekend. He said, you come in on a Friday arvo, handed yourself in. I said, I've got a fucking goat in the car. So, yeah, I talked my way out of it, but Gary survived. Came out and some chick was stroking him just like Meta. Stroking his horn.
He had such lovely horns.
Is Gary stoned or what?
Yeah, no, he's had a good feed. He's had pellets.
Yeah.
And he's had the lucid.
Yeah, and some cookies. Oh, fucking, yeah, so that's the cop. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run Gary for Prime Minister next election. What do you reckon, eh?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Gary the Goat Party and vote Goat. Hey, what do you reckon, eh? I heard the story of this guy who was working in Woolies or whatever, out the back. And you know how they used to do price check? You know, someone comes up and someone came up with some fucking Tampax. And he said, price check on Tampax. And he thought in the back room, she said, fucking thumbtacks. So he's got back on the mic and said, you mean the ones you bang him with your thumb or push him with a hammer? Poor cunt got the sack, eh? Fucking, yeah. To me, it's a freedom of speech thing. It's like you got World War III happening, all this shit, and you're criminalising a guy who drinks his own. Like if I was going down and fucking pouring it down Meta's throat, maybe, but I'm just fucking drinking my own piss, Your Honour. If you can't drink your own piss, what can you do? No, I just appreciate coming out to a gig like this. I hope I can more people do it around the country. If not, I'll just fucking come here next lap, eh? Yeah, meet the third sister.